Michelle is with us in Pennsylvania. Michelle, your question for Dr. D and myself.
Yes, hi. Thank you for taking my phone call.
Sure.
My husband and I are both healthcare professionals. We're high performers in our jobs, and our salaries dictate that. My husband makes $100,000 a year, and I make $50,000. I'm part-time as a physical therapist. And the COVID-19 has really impacted the Philadelphia area immensely. His job is 100% stable. Because I deal with elderly in nursing homes and assisted living facilities that have essentially shut down because of COVID-19, I'm uncertain from week to week whether or not I will be furloughed or not. We have, our house has been paid off for the past 5 years. And in the past 5 years, we've done things like there's new windows, there's new siding. We don't have any credit card debt whatsoever. I will be looking at the age of 65 at having a $2,200 pension from a previous job.
How old are you now?
I'm 59. I'll be 60.
Okay.
And we have, I haven't looked at the market because I'm scared to death, but in February, we had $1.5 million saved in a 403B account.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm experiencing right now, and I feel like I'm going to get emotional, I am so burned out. I have a lot of compassion fatigue, and I'm just really burned out. And I told my husband that I think that I really just want to take a couple months off and regroup. And he has said to me, you shouldn't do that, Michelle, because if they're going to furlough you, then you will get unemployment compensation, and you will also be able then to be able to breathe a little bit better and also be able to take advantage of unemployment compensation. The other piece
you have $1.5 million. You don't need to worry about unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're fine.
You've spent the last 5 years planning for this moment. You have no debt, no house payment. Your husband's got a great job.
You're millionaires.
You both help people, and y'all are doing incredible work right now.
But I love what I do, and I don't know how to get past the compassion fatigue. I don't want to leave the people I serve, but I don't know how to do this.
So a hard thing for those of us...
I feel like if I leave, I'm going to quit the people that I love serving.
And so those of us who serve other people for a living, we often find our identity. We put our identity in the ability to make somebody else's day feel better. And so what I'm going to ask you to do, my friend Michelle, who I'm talking to on the phone, is to care about yourself as much as you do your patients. And so we're in a situation now where your patients, the administrators have said, you coming in might do more harm than good. And that's hard to hear as somebody who loves the people that you get to help and that you get to be with. So I want you to take that energy and focus it on Michelle. And that means I think you're making some smart decisions about not looking at your numbers and getting off the media and all that. But your identity is going to be found in making sure Michelle's okay right now.
Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask both of you something, because I'm not sure I grasp this. But it occurs to me, obviously, you are probably going to get furloughed from doing PT in nursing homes. I think that's a fairly easy prediction. Okay, that's probably coming. I'm surprised it hadn't come already, honestly, because a lot of places aren't allowing anyone in a nursing home. I don't know who's taking care of them. Are you, with your PT training, is there something you can do in the middle of the actual COVID crisis to assist the overload that some of your other medical professionals are doing? I don't know if PT training sets you up to do that or not. Does it?
If I worked for a hospital system, the answer would be yes.
Now, you could probably work for a hospital system by the end of the day if you wanted to, couldn't you? They're desperate, aren't they?
They're desperate for people taking temperatures and that sort of thing. It would be as a volunteer. So I could do that. It just bothers me because I think that people don't understand all the secondary implications of quarantining older adults with dementia. And all the like my husband said, they're busy as all get out because everyone's falling. There's hip fractures, wrist fractures.
There's no question. But I think living in a world where you're looking out to say, hey, don't you see this is a big deal? Okay. I'm telling you right now, we know it's a big deal. And the work you do with the least of these in our communities, the forgotten people in our communities, is you're a human angel, right? And that identity's been paused right now, and that hurts. And then you start thinking, well, what am I worth? What is my value? What about these people that I love? And what I'm asking you to do is to sit down for a second and control the things you can control. And then, like Dave mentioned, find other places where you can serve. You're a server at heart. That's who you are. That's your wiring. It's awesome that you get paid for it, but you would do that for free because that's who you are. And so it's looking at whether it's coming up with some cheesy YouTube show and you can do PT on the internets for people. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here. But you're going to have to unhinge who you are from this community here and to find places to serve in your local area. And the person I want you to start with is Michelle.
Yeah.
I want you to start with Michelle.
The good news is, on my side of this discussion, you can afford it. easily. Yeah, we don't need to maximize your unemployment. But I mean, if you hang around another week, you're probably going to be furloughed. So you can probably hang on a week, kiddo. But at the end of the day, do you need to take a couple months off somewhere in this process to reset, whiteboard your life, and go, what do I want to be when I grow up? Yeah, why not? You're a millionaire. Your house is paid for. Your husband makes $100,000 a year. Why not?
And
I would.
My good friend Lynn she's a researcher in secondary traumatic stress, and it is real. It's heavy, and it affects how you sleep, how you eat, how you interact with other people, and it's important that you come up with a plan to.
What'd you call that?
Secondary traumatic stress.
What's that mean?
That means there's a trauma when someone gets hit by a car.
Right.
And there's a secondary traumatic stress when you are the EMS worker who is going all day, every day, cleaning up other people's challenges. That's right. Or when you're working with dementia patients.
The healthcare provider gets secondary.
And it's profound, and it's cumulative, and it weighs on you over time. And that's where having a relationships in your life that you trust and a wellness plan that you stick by religiously
includes some sabbatical
to take care of yourself.
Some time off every week.
And Michelle, you know this, right?
She's on hold.
Oh, she's on hold. So Michelle knows this. It just gets hard, and especially the hotter the fire gets. I was told at my last job, John, you have to stop running into the building when it's on fire. We need you over here. And when you're wired like this, like Michelle is, that's a special heart, and she just wants to bust in. And it's hard for healthcare providers and people who are crisis responders to stop.
I don't think I've heard the phrase compassion fatigue before. That's an interesting phrase.
Your body registers the trauma in smaller amounts, but as though you're experiencing it too. And so trauma can be acute right away, or it can be cumulative. And I always look at...
so when Ken Coleman says, you're not burned out, it's not burnout, it's build up, he's exactly right.
Over time, right. And you can get in a car wreck and it's a cinder block, or you can show up to car wrecks and it's a pebble over 15 years, over 10 years, but that weight is the same. Mm-hmm. Trauma is trauma is trauma. And you've got to, and again, coming back to, you've got to connect with other people. That's your emergency fund for those moments, Dave.
So that's what those of you who have healthcare professionals in your life right now can do, is love them well.
Oh man, let them
have a sabbatical. Let them have a Sunday off, whatever, right? And
or call them and tell them you love them, or put a meal on their porch.
You need a Sabbath, yeah. You need a Sabbath. Put a meal on their porch. Leave some flowers, whatever. But just remind them that because they need to get dialed back away from that stuff enough to reset every 24 hours.
Because then they're heading back in. That's right.
Yeah.
And we need them. We need them to go back in.
They're heroes, for sure. Yeah, no question about it. It's wild out there. Wild.
Beautiful, Michelle. I love your heart, Michelle. Love it.
And you guys have done such a great job with money, by the way. Everyday millionaires. You're okay financially.
Plan for this moment.
Breathe. Tell your husband to breathe. You need the unemployment. I'm going to box his ears.